I want to have this conversation with the family because I feel like this is a very I haven't really seen too many people talk about this on TikTok, so maybe a lot of people don't know about it on TikTok. So I want to bring this up, but I also want to, or I will say, and I also want to warn everybody about this because unfortunately, I don't think that this is where this is going to end, personally. The reason I say that is because Chud the Builder is some kick streamer, former kick streamer who got big, kind of famous. He got like he got like 100, almost 150,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know if he's on TikTok, but I know he's on different social media. I know he's on Twitter. He's big on Twitter. He was super big on Twitch. Kick. And Kick he was getting hundreds of thousands. He had like 100,000 followers and was hundreds of thousands of people watching him. And they were watching him because he was going around in Memphis or in the Tennessee area, not Memphis. I don't think it wasn't Memphis, but it was in the Tennessee area, well, in the Tennessee state. And he was going to black people and harassing them. He was racially harassing them. It was Nashville. Thank you very much. It was Nashville. And he was racially harassing them. He was going around like, hey, can a white man say the N-word? He didn't say the N-word. He was saying the full-blown N-word with the hard ER and everything. And then at the slightest reaction that they would have, they'd be like, because it's first off, it kind of throws you off guard. Because people don't say it. Like, even black people don't say the N-word with the hard ER unless they're trying to like make a point or something. It's just not something you just say publicly like that. So when people make a reaction like, what'd you just say? And then he would be like, oh, stop chimping out. He would say they were chimping out. And then he would do things to antagonize some of the people. And there were certain cases where some of the people was kind of like pressing him a little bit. And then he would pull out some pepper spray and he would pepper spray the people. Not only does he carry pepper spray, but he also carries something else, his Second Amendment piece, I will say, because I don't want to say it on TikTok. And he would flash that to everybody. And there was a couple situations where he actually somebody had walked up on him. A couple of brothers had walked up on him and they was like trying to check him on that. And he had pepper sprayed him. He'd even pepper sprayed a woman too. There was a woman who was kind of getting at him. Hold on for a second, man. There was a woman who was kind of getting at him and he had pepper sprayed her. So this is something that I want to bring attention to because he got really big on Kick with that. Now, Kick eventually, and I say eventually because I'm kind of side-eyeing Kick, the streaming platform, because Kick took a little bit too long to take his profile down. They permanently demonetized it, then they banned it. But at that time, the damage had already been done. He had already made a name for himself by that time. So I'm side-eyeing Kick because Kick allowed that to happen. Right. But I want to bring attention to the situation because when you see stuff like this, more than likely copycats are going to follow. More than likely you're going to get people be all like, oh, wow, you can get 100,000 followers. These people nowadays are desperate. I'm talking about super desperate to get followers, to get some type of name for themselves, to get some type of clout or anything. They're desperate for that. Okay, they'll do anything, and especially if they feel like they can do it and kind of be controversial or racist at the same time, they would jump at the bit for that. And the problem I have with that is that Chud, he's going after people he don't feel like will challenge him, because there was actually one brother who pulled up on him. And that brother who pulled up on him had a piece on him. And the second that brother did that, Chud got on the phone with 911 talking about he was scared for his life and he didn't know what was going to happen. So all of that tough guy talk that Chud be doing, all that following people around like, hey, you want to fight? You want to fight? You want to do something about it? Do something about it. He didn't do nothing about it. There was a couple times, even this guy in the picture right here, who was a bouncer at some club, Chud had called him the N-word, but he was like, well, he had made sure there was a safe distance between him and the other guy before he did that. So this is what Chud does. He goes to targets. No, he goes to men who are smaller than him. He's not a small dude. So he goes to men who are smaller than him. He goes to people who are more than likely are not armed. And he be all, the second they make any type of reaction, here he goes taking his weapon out. Be like, hey, you better back up. You better back up. And cause they're very cowardly by nature and weak, and they like to see stuff like that. His audience are going to be like, oh man, you're really getting him, man. You're really doing it, man.
Are we seriously comparing this white man to the knockout game that you guys used to do? I mean, I'm sitting here listening.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not comparing this man to saying a word to the knockout games and what we see on the news.
Okay,
go ahead. I'm not mad, baby. Go ahead.
Don't call him baby.
Don't unmute him. Don't unmute him.
No,
They're getting upset. Go ahead. Okay.
Listen,
they used to do what Chud used to do in New York, right? Exactly what Chud is a copycat of the whitey people in New York, right? They would come in when the young boys were playing basketball, totally not bothering anybody. Chud is trying to reinvent the game with new vernacular, but this is nothing new. So when you talk about the knockout game, it probably was them whitey people coming into our area.
Is that who it was,
bothering
host?
us when we
It was some white people. This is
it was. I've seen a lot of white people.
Taco?
If you
Are
look
you
it
on
up,
drugs?
if you look it up, hold
Your
on.
mammy is.
No,
That
if you look
You want me
it
to
up,
hold the
it was
videos
one
for
of
you? Want
the.
to watch
Hold
the
on.
videos together?
No,
watch
listen.
your fucking
Y'all
society.
here's the thing. Okay, sir. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to land. I'm not even gonna call you sir no more. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to land, and then I'm gonna respond to you. Cause let's talk about that. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds to land your point, and then I'm gonna make a point addressing that.
Type in gang shootings and Instagram. Enjoy the fucking show of our youth unaliving each other with full automatic weapons like it's a goddamn war zone out there. You lock down blocks. You're nothing compared to the people of my country. You are a decay on our society. I don't ever think that you compare to us. You've been nothing but a problem, nothing but a bill, nothing but a fucking yap. You bitch about the past. You never think about the future. You're communionized, and I'll land my plane here. We were damn close to being a country, 60s, 70s, 80s. What happened in the 90s? First off, fuck your bitch in the clit you claim, radicalized you as a people, changed your fucking dialect, and ruined you as a culture.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because you're talking about my country. Where's your family originally from in Europe?
How far?
Preach.
What is the dib arguments with you? I hear you.
No, that's an important
Why
question.
do you always
that's
do
an
dibs
important question.
arguments?
Where's your family from in
How
Europe?
far do you want to go back?
As far as
why do dibs matter today?
Before America, where was your family from?
You came from Africa. They won't take you back.
No, sir. Okay, dude. We are having a good conversation. I let you come up. You interrupted me, and I let you come up, and I let you still land. Now I'm asking you a question.
My ancestors come from England.
Now, as the host, have some decorum. Have some IQ. Calm down with that low IQ shit. Have some good IQ and answer the question. Do you know? Do you know your family?
I already said it. England. Yes, most people who came to America came from England.
Okay, listen, England ain't shit. But let's.
Is that what you brought it up for, Mr. High IQ?
I know. All of this stuff matters, sir. Calm that low IQ shit down. Now listen. When you want to talk about all of the violence, all of the massacres, I'm talking about massacres in this country has been done by your people.
Say it. I love it.
I'm sure you do.
That's the reality you want to live in.
Get off on that type of stuff.
Let's hang out in the Bronx past midnight and see the mass.
No, hold on. You want to let's hang out in the Bronx
fucking
past
muting
midnight.
me?
The black community. Oh, no, sir. You're not going to overtalk the host.
We're going to have a conversation, but if you're going to...
We have higher IQ, so you don't overtalk the host.
I'm going to go if you can't handle this.
No, you're going to leave if you keep over talking the host. We have higher
You're no
frequency
one to me.
IQ
This is a
shit.
conversation.
No, no, no. You don't get to
Just speak
over
your
talk
truth.
people. That's not how you have a conversation. That's not how high
You
IQ
don't
people have a
you don't mute
conversation.
people.
Okay. I'm not even muting you. That's the mod doing that. But listen,
Talk to your people.
no. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing because
Really
they know better.
controlling
And you should know
speech.
better.
Letting you
Okay. Do you want to have a conversation? Why are you crashing out?
You let me know when I can talk.
What?
Go ahead.
I will. Okay. Here's the thing. When it comes to all of the most destructive things in this country, in modern history, in the 21st century, in the century before that, that has been done by their people.
Let's
When you
talk
want to
about it.
talk about the knockout game, I'm glad he brought up the knockout game. The knockout
I'm gonna pull
game
it.
was something that was actually started and done by their community. There was a
There's the dibs
14-year-old.
argument
Hold
again.
on,
Love it. I love
sir.
the dibs.
That low IQ stuff, you got to stop that. Don't be triggered. The knockout game, if you guys didn't know, the knockout game had ended when people brought awareness to it after a 15-year-old white boy was unalived on camera by his white friends playing the knockout game. And then it went super viral, and you had all of these politicians bringing awareness to it. They tried to put it off on black people, but it was something that was done in the white community. These things are done, and you're trying to get on me. This is he was a 15-year-old, and it was all like, we got to stop playing these dangerous games. When it comes to dangerous stuff that they like to push off on the black community, a lot of that stuff they started. Now you're talking about, well, go to the Bronx at night. This guy is going around black people saying the N-word. Y'all like to portray black people as this violent group of people that you guys got to duck and hide behind, but he's literally going around black people to the black community. Sir, I don't want to see any type of, I don't know what you're going to show
Oh,
on your
what's
camera.
wrong, baby? We're gonna show evidence.
No.
Brother Afro,
don't
can
wanna
I ask you
know-
the
Show
same
violence
question?
here.
Stop muting me.
No.
Stop fucking
No,
muting
no,
me.
you don't control nothing. I need to know what part of the Bronx you're going to, because the Bronx
Any
is actually
fucking place.
segregated. Okay, good. So the Latinos are the one up here in the Bronx
Host
doing
with
the
this
pew
muting.
pew and broad daylight pew pew and other Latinos in the head, right? So you're talking to the wrong demographic. You
Host,
might
I'm
want
the
to
only
scroll down and go to the Puerto Rican live, go to the Dominican
Okay,
live,
you're
go
gonna
to
have
any
to
other
look.
Latino live but
Look
this
at the
one.
high IQ stuff. I'm not mad, but look at the high IQ stuff. Notice he did
Trying
not
to talk.
refute. No, notice he did not refute when it came to the worst atrocities that has happened in this country is happening
Host, I
by
don't even
his
know.
group of people, right? And he laughed that off.
Host.
But he want to talk about some stuff. He want to talk about some incidental incidents that happens in the Bronx or in poorer communities.
You don't
When
win.
most of the pandemics, most of the outbreaks happen
gone. I'm
in
done.
his community. Now, if he keeps see this low IQ type of thing, he can leave. Yeah, he can leave. And he thought he was going to sit up there and get us in our feelings and with these black stereotypes. Unfortunately, you don't know that we know too much information here. We know way too much information for you to sit up there and shoot stereotypes, because we can reverse that and make you look real bad, which is what we've done there.
Well,
You didn't know.
Afro,
I know about the true origin of the knockout game. That did not come from black folk. So it's interesting you brought that up. If you would have brought that up and another person, you might have been able to get a point. But you can't win that with me and with us, because we know better.
well,
Here's the
brother
thing,
Afro,
I'm from the Bronx too,
hold
and
on one
I'm
second,
perfectly
Sunday.
fine. I don't have no
One second, brother.
issues, nothing. I don't understand what's this from the Bronx thing that he's talking about, because I'm from the Bronx, New York High Bridge, which is supposedly the worst of the worst, and I'm unscathed. Now the people that are getting harmed or whatever case may be, those are the 3% that's in
Fuck all you stupid ass niggas.
Yeah, I know you're mad as hell, and we're gonna put you in the leash. I'm gonna put you right in the leash because we know y'all can't contain yourself, and that's why I had to keep muting from the comments. We're not playing that game where you think you can come up here and do whatever you want. So I forgot the mute button, so I can put y'all right in the leash to calm y'all down. So as I was saying earlier, before I was really interrupted, because their reptile brain is activated because they can't calm themselves. I'm from the Bronx, and the people that is doing degenerate things is usually people that's part of GANGs or narcotics. Other than that, it's regular people that's surviving and thriving. There's people that's working in civil service jobs and everything that's trying to make it in life. So I don't know what he's talking about. I'm good. I haven't had no issues as somebody from the Bronx.
Well,
I don't either. I feel very safe in the black community knowing that there's not going to be no, like, well, unless they come in. Like,
well,
besides that, I'm not worried about it or anything like that. I'm not. They're the ones who need to be worried. I mean, their women are afraid of them. Their children don't respect them. They got to do stuff like this to feel masculine and to feel like they have some type of worth in society, to feel manly and to feel tough. They have to do stuff like this. Black men don't have to go to other people's communities and harass their people. They don't have to do that. They're the ones who have to do that. And by me stating that they have to do that, it triggers their deep rooted insecurity, because
right.
all of these people are insecure internally. They're insecure. They're insecure when it comes to black men. They're insecure when it comes to their own masculinity. I want y'all to keep in mind, this guy has pictures of him wearing drag and all of that stuff. Found that out. He got pictures of him as a fairy with makeup on and all that stuff. So there's always some type of, yeah, he does, yeah. So there's always some type of like weird, like like, I don't even know if I can say it. There's always some type of weird thing with their masculinity that they have going on.
Well, I want to
That causes that.
I wanted to quickly say, Brother Afro, when he started, I'm glad you asked him where was his European lineage from. I don't believe him. He said England.
I don't believe him either. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's accept that on its face. I wanted to space my FBAs in here to know that the reason why the English came over here, and I'll shorten it for y'all, is because a black American who they called Indians, air quotes, were beating the living sugar honey iced tea out of the English, colonial masters. And Benjamin Franklin wrote a letter to the Queen of England saying, we need reinforcement or these black Indians are going to unalive us, scalp us. And the letter, Benjamin, y'all can look this up with the join or DIE letter. Look that up in the chat. That was Benjamin Franklin unifying the plantation owners together because they were fighting each other. But my point of bringing that up is the majority of the English that came over here came to Georgia. Look up the Georgia Corporation, because the Queen said, we're going to send our degenerates to this new land that will become America to fight these black Indians. They sent people in prison. They sent pedophiles. They sent people out the insane asylum. So his number one, he's a visitor here. And number two, if he's telling the truth about his English lineage, he's related to a degenerate, a pedophile, or a debtor. Y'all look up the debtor colony.
Oh, wow. Thanks for letting us know that. And I mean, all of that, if he is from England, I mean, notice how he got kind of excited and happy when I brought up all of the mass amounts of unalivings that they did. I don't want to say the word again, but he was all like, yeah, I know. And he kind of giggled with that too. Like he got off on that. A lot of them, there's this sick thing in their head. I'm so serious. They get excited when they hear that. They get excited when they get reminded of the destruction that they've caused. It makes them feel, it's the only thing that makes them feel strong. They feel strong and powerful by harming other people. It's a sick thing, man. And notice we barely started. I mean, he just got out of body. And this is the high people who talk about high IQ and all that stuff. I mean, he was just out of body. That's that low IQ stuff. We don't do that here. We're just too high frequency over here. That's that. We don't do that. And then he was like, what about the knockout game? The knockout game? I mean, what, like 2015 or 16? That's like a decade ago. What?
You know what this is, Afro? This is happy anniversary. We was just talking about your first ever live when white people rushed the chat. This is the reminder that they're low IQ and idiots and the Latinos ain't too far behind them.
Yeah. But we got a lot of people in here. Y'all make sure y'all tap the screen, please, and thank you. I appreciate y'all. And if you guys are listening on YouTube, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Don't worry, there's a lot of people in the queue, so we'll cycle it out to make sure everybody gets to speak. So let's get started. What? It says BX, they said remove BX. BX Live contains themes that, so they're mass reporting you, BX.
Not BX.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
it says BX contains
Said scary Latinos, right? One right next door can hear
contains
me.
themes that may
Scary ass
some may
Latinos from
find
the Bronx that
uncomfortable.
gotta run for a pew pew whenever they get punched in the mouth. Go ahead and drop me.
Okay,
That's
so just
insane.
10 minutes, just drop me.
You gonna switch? Oh, you gonna switch pages? Can you switch your page?
No, I'm gonna take the 10 minutes.
Okay.
all right.
Ain't that about a business?
Y'all very cowardly. I'm talking about
Very.
y'all are some of the most cowardly people. Okay.
They
Well,
must like this white tea. This white tea boy must mean a lot to them.
we clearly triggered his fan base.
Yeah. What the hell? He got a egregious follower. That's how it be. I'm not surprised.
Okay. Well, since you off your mic, what do you gotta say about this?
Yeah, egregious, and I didn't know he was a Kick streamer specifically, but I'm not surprised, Kick threw me off when they got Aiden Ross to endorse them anyways. He was the first big streamer to go over there to switch over to that platform. That kind of told me enough right there. We all know, or if you don't know, he's anti-black himself. So, I mean, that wasn't very surprising anyway. So, to see this, to find out that this YT boy is using that platform or was big on that platform, and the fact that I didn't know that they took so long to ban him even, but that's what they do because they look out for their people. So yeah, they're gonna act like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the right thing, but yeah, you let him build up this big ass platform and then demonetize him and then block him after that. It's like he should have been banned after the first sign of showing anti-blackness. But that's how these people work, so that's not surprising. Now I did see the video of him doing that, and that's how cowardly you are. You see how big and strong this thing is, or this should I say this rich cracker is. But he gets up here and they act like they so big and bad, just like the other white people that just came up here. They act like they so big and bad, but then when you get around moreover masculine energy, you start to pipe down. It always goes like that because he didn't say that shit to that black man's face. He had to walk away and just say the N-word, and he was going to, like you said, he was going up to women and things of that nature. But that's how cowardly these people are, and they love to project that violent behavior on the black people when they know in reality that's really within their nature. They're really wicked and violent people. They can't help themselves. Honestly, it's very animal-like. That's why they relate so much to dogs and stuff like that. We ain't gonna go too far. I ain't trying to get 10 minutes on me, but we know that these people are not the same, so they have a very wicked nature, and that's what they try to project that onto us because they want us to believe that it's our fault. But really, y'all have set up, we have civilized you all. We the only reason this country is the way it is. It's funny because they love to claim, just like that white T-boy did, my country. But the only
no,
reason,
you don't. Hold on, don't calm that low IQ stuff. I know it's hard. It takes a lot of brain power, but just have enough IQ to wait your turn. Do you know what waiting your turn means? Black people got to teach them everything. Do you know what waiting your turn means? Just wait your turn.
I swear, it's like little puppy dogs, man. They need training. I swear, they don't know. They didn't know how to damn house training. You got to teach them because they literally do not. They just do not understand. They can't comprehend. So yeah. But I learned there. Yeah, these people are wicked in nature, so we can't be surprised by none of these.
Let her go on a racist diatribe. I got you. Let her go.
Oh, she's racist, not Chud the Builder.
Yeah, she just said.
Oh wow.
Is Chud let me ask you a question before you continue, Mr. White Man.
Chud wasn't though. I said she is.
As the host, have the IQ to listen. Is Chud the Builder racist or not? Yes or no?
Either that or he's doing a skit, whichever one. He's either racist or doing a skit.
No, it's not a skit. It's not a skit. It's not a skit.
Okay, then why would you ask it? If you're walking up to black people and saying that, what do you think you are?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
No, now you're interrupting me. Are you low IQ? You're interrupting me. Are you low IQ?
No, I'm the host. I can do that.
I need a host.
I know you can. I know you can do whatever you want, but I'm saying some low IQ. Yeah, you have your turban's too tight. Now you're interrupting me again. I know what you're asking. I'm trying to answer it, but
I tried to simplify it so you and your low IQ can understand it. Okay?
Simple question. I understood it. You just muted me.
Oh, I'm not muting.
I'm being muted.
Okay.
Well, someone's muting me. You can see it happening.
Y'all, let him talk. Let him talk. Is Chud the Builder racist or not?
Obviously, by his actions, probably, yeah. What's your point? Was that late? Was ZZ? Well, now can I talk now? Can I reply now?
Notice, okay, you
So
said
can I say it's
obviously he
easy?
probably is.
Well, yeah, because I'm going off what he said. So if we go off what just people say, we don't know them because you don't know Chud, I don't know Chud, I don't know ZZ, you don't know ZZ. To me, what Chud said and what ZZ said is the same thing. They're both racist, ignorant idiots.
Oh, definitely.
No, I do know ZZ actually.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Chud the builder. He can build it. Yes, he can. Yep.
Oh, so you like Chud?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
So you like a racist? So you're a racist?
No, it's not so much I like that. I like the fact that the way he makes you guys feel when he does this, because you guys think you have some kind of control or power, and you guys don't. You have this illusion that people are afraid of you. No one's afraid of you no more. This isn't 1980s no more. No one's scared of the scary black guy.
No,
he's it doesn't work no more.
That's why he carries.
It doesn't work
That's why
no
he
more.
carries a firearm.
That Chud makes
everybody. Well, you guys carry firearms. Why can't we?
What do you do?
We don't carry firearms.
Hold on.
Oh,
you like? I want y'all to listen. He's proving our point. They like that. They like the damage and the terror.
Well, there's no they. I said I. I said I. I'm a single person. One person. I'm not speaking for a group. I'm speaking for me.
A large following. Is not.
Well, that's cool. I'm speaking from. Again with the mutes, you're being disingenuous. You're saying that I'm speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself.
You don't know what that word means.
Your turban's too
lying. You're lying.
Turban.
All right.
Loosen up your turban.
Okay. So you said they're not scared anymore, right? You're not scared?
Yeah, so no one's scared of you guys anymore, dude. It's not scary. The rap music isn't scary. The saggy pants and stuff, it's not scary no more, dude.
Stop it, dude.
The glizzies.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah, it's not cool. Yeah, being ghetto is not scary.
The thing is that they're crashing out like this because they really are really scared.
Yeah.
Now, we're not doing anything to make them scared. It's not like we're going to their community and terrorizing it and reminding them, y'all better be scared of us. We don't do stuff
you have nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't hurt nobody. You can't do nothing. You have no power.
Your low IQ is going to have to... We just can't do the low IQ thing. We just... We can't do that, okay? We operate at a higher frequency here. Maybe that's just a lack of melanin that you have that's causing your brain to kind of just trip out like that. But over here, as the melanin kind of helps us balance our emotions a little bit better than that. You gotta, I don't know what I can tell you, man.
Very attached and very entitled. These people are so privileged to come into a space and think you just have the power and right to take over. We're having a conversation. Why you gonna allow me to speak? Who the fuck do you think you are? These people are insane. And then the violent thing too, just to touch on that one time, because the other white T boy did the same thing, talking about really talking about our youth. But I'm trying to figure out, you talking about firearms, y'all are such a violent people that your youth are out of control. We don't got our children going to school and causing mass unalivements. That ain't us. No. That's your people. Y'all got a lot more problems to worry about what the fuck we got going on in black neighborhoods that I done lived in my whole life and been safe in my whole damn life. So please miss me talking about violence and what the fuck we got to worry about. Y'all got too many issues, people. Too many issues to worry about. Please.
The privilege is what gets me. That dude literally threatened to drop. Like, really? But last thing I wanted to say is, with respect to violence, I want my black Americans to realize that Europe was fighting each other. They were unaliving each other. We saved their life because we gave them their nature, according to history, is to unalive each other. We saved them from unaliving each other because we gave them a target to focus on outside of each other. And now that we're delineating and we're moving out of that hierarchy, that fictitious hierarchy that they created, they're going to turn back to what they know, which is unaliving each other.
So I think, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be real quick. I think what it really is he's really projecting, right? He said, "We not scared of y'all no more." He is. He is, right? Because why would you say that? Nobody's talking about being scared. Nobody's talking about, the big black man. Nobody said we bigger, better. Nobody said anything. But he could bring up the fact that we're not scared of y'all no more. Y'all not the scary big black man no more. That's interesting, right? So you look at us as big and scary is what you're saying. Now that I find that really interesting. So the fact that you saying that, like, only way that people can say that is because they really feel that way deep down inside. That's him telling himself to make himself pump up and feel better. Of course he's on code with Chud and he like Chud because he's on code with what this is and what he do. But notice Chud, he walks away 50 feet and say the N-word, especially in this scene right here. He was close. The security guard touched him and moved him over. He said, "Don't touch me." So if he felt the way, he could have said it when the security guard touched him. But he walked about 50 feet and then said the N-word and walked away, knowing that the security guard not going to walk. So y'all are scared. We got to stop playing and stop. You guys, and it's all right. Y'all, it is what it is.
It is, yeah. All of this, y'all scared, and we're not scared of you no more, and that's why they like this. They like it because to them, Chud is doing something brave and courageous by proxy, making them feel brave. Like, yeah, we're not scared. No, they are. Nobody's doing anything to you all. They're not. They don't have the decorum. They're mad when I talk about this is a bad reflection on their masculinity. Oh, BX is back. Okay, well, we just have to. Sorry.
I'll drop Afro. If I could say one thing.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I think what we're seeing right now, right? We gotta understand that for decades they had the media showing. Hold on, family. You got. I'm gonna go ahead and drop.
All right, we'll bring you back up.
All right, no problem. Matter of fact, we good. No, I'm good. So what I was gonna say is for the last decades they had the media showing them in a certain type of light, right? And so what's going on now? There's the new media, right? Because white supremacist systems in place back in the day used to show them in a light, them as the money, them as this, and now that the even playing field is even. Right, we are the richest black people on earth. We making six figures and all kinds of money. Now the media, we creating our own media with social media, and we telling our own narratives, our own perspective, in our own lens. Now that the playing field is evening out, even though they had a 400-year head start, this is why a lot of them are losing right now. 47% on government assistance, right? And so what's going on is that a lot of these men feel inferior. A lot of them are poor. Like, for prime example, Chud, he got a baby mama, 2 kids. He's not paying child support. He's losing jobs here and there. So he went to reduce himself to doing this kind of content to make a bag, to kind of pump up the inferiority complex of other races, like the gentleman that was up here earlier. Right, and so he makes his bag off of these people like the Rumbunctious. He make a bag off of their inferiority complex. That's their feeling of euphoria to make them feel good about themselves because they're really losers in real life, socially, economically, in every way. Right, so this is what's going on. So their anger is really just jealousy. Their anger is the fact that every woman they date or white woman they date, they gotta ask them, "Did you have a black man before this? You sure you ain't had no black man?" Because they feel inferior because they think you know the saying that I ain't gonna say it, but why they ask it.
Yeah. yeah.
So it's an inferiority complex is what I'm saying, and this is the new content to kind of pump up the inferiority complex, and this is how they make the bad feeling to feel good for a lot of these people that feel inferior. So now I'm gonna land on that.
I appreciate that. All right, let me see. Bring BX up, and then we're gonna get stuff started. Now I wanna just to add this. If Chud was foundational Black American, if he was a black man and he was going around doing this and he was going to their community and he was doing this, you wouldn't see us co-signing this. You would not see us being all like defended. Black men would not feel empowered if we saw another black man doing what he's doing. We wouldn't feel like this makes us look tough. We wouldn't feel like, yeah, finally we're getting back at him. We look at this like, no, that's sad. That's not a good look. We would be telling him to stop. We would be the main ones telling him, hey, dude, that's not what we should be doing. We shouldn't be doing that at all. We would be the main ones telling him to stop if he was in our community. But he's in their community, and they're so insecure that they feel good when they see stuff like this. It's a sad thing. I pity him. It's sad. BX, I'm so sorry that they kicked you off.
It's so okay. Let me tell you something. That's what weaklings do. So first of all, they want to go back and forth with me about Black American women in the Bronx. This Black American woman, right? I done for every demographic except for an African because they didn't live in my vicinity. So yes, I fought a Haitian. Yes, I fought a Puerto Rican. Yes, I got jumped by Caribbean. Yes, I fight, okay? Chase the white tea girl up the block in the Italian area because I went to school over there for calling me the N-word. Y'all gotta cut it out thinking black Americans are scared. If these melanated folks walking around here is scared, then they gotta be Jamaican. They gotta be some type of Caribbean. Trust me, black Americans are fighting you back. The things with PRs, right? Whoop they ass, they're gonna run for a gun. Sorry, a pew-pew. They just literally are. Okay? And I don't know what this is trying to stare me down. When I was a young girl, my father sat me down in a chair. He said, now look at me. Don't drop your eyes. Okay? So when I go in the doctor's office and I see somebody with a New York fitted, I know you trying to do too much. You're from an island. You're not from the soil. Let's be clear. And I'm going to stare you down back. I'm not the one to mess with. I've been on this app. My pictures are all over because I put them on the internet. So we got to be honest here. You're doing too much on the internet thinking I won't touch you in New York. And if you touch me, I'm touching you back. Do you think I'm scared of these little whippersnappers? Who raised the crash outs? Who was beating up your mamas? So don't come in here with trying to follow behind the white tee, man. Because remember, you got to live in the area I'm in. Not that white tee man. Who going to protect you then? Stop being a follower.
All right.
Let me just tell the mods this. Anybody with 10 followers or less, bounce them. Those are fake pages here to disrupt. More than likely somebody we already muted coming back to talk some more ish. They rush in the chat for a reason, and I'm starting to think it's because of certain names will bring certain types of attention. Because you never had it this much unless we was talking about, remember Babs Bunny? What's his name? Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And the Latinos rushed in. So now with Chud. So it got to be certain names or something.
Yeah, it's like the fact that I have his name in the algorithms, I guess, giving us his fan base or something like that. Because it normally don't be like this. Not with these folk. We don't be on that side of TikTok, but we are today. And it's okay. I like clowning them too. I'm ready for the smoke. But the thing is that they're just so low IQ. They have such low emotional intelligence. They're so childish. You can't even have a conversation with them. That's the sad part. They're so degenerate. It's like they don't know how to have a civilized adult conversation. That's the sad part. I mean, I would. I think it's the lack of father figures in their life. I think so. I think if they had good father figures, they would know how to have a reasonable adult conversation. But the fathers in their community don't really be doing anything. So, I mean, and statistics have proven that. The fathers in their community, look at him. I mean, clearly he doesn't have a dad. If he knows who he is not in his life, you can't do nothing but feel bad for him, It's,
Not forget that sometimes even when they do have their father, their intimate relationships is a little bit different than ours. They get a little more intimate than our fathers do. This agrees.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's yeah.
A little bit more intimate.
Sage is sorry, y'all. Sage is trying to request stuff. He said, what is going on in here?
Sage, it's okay if you missed it because it all happened in a matter of like 5 minutes. Like they just came in here like an angry mob, like a violent mob or something like that. But yeah, we can let everybody, if you can set the decorum real quick, because I want to keep the room flowing. There's a lot of people in the queue.
You say real quick, knowing I'm long-winded. Goodness gracious, I'm going to make it fast. By now, you already know the decorum. Don't violate it. Remember also, to be a Black American, a foundational Black American, African American, even though we don't like that term, anything that pertains to a Black American, you have had to trace your ancestors, direct ancestors to an 1870 census, or you are your parents' country of origin, period. By ethnics, multi-ethnics are welcome here. Let's keep the conversation respectful. And when the Latinos join the chat, trust me, it's not conducive to say, well, we're Black too. You have African descent, that's fine, but your African don't mean Black in the United States of America. Got it? Thank you. TikTok friendly language only, right? Whatever you're unsure to say, spell it out, we'll get it. In the chat, y'all are starting to curse and say some really harsh, unfriendly TikTok words. I'm just going to mute you for 5 minutes and come back and be more respectful. See that orange heart by Afro Elite's name? Click the orange heart, complete the daily mission, claim your points. It'll keep him in the algorithm and help unlock some really cool gifts that you could give to him and improve your rankings as a fan or a super fan. Super fan. He has 3 active subscribers, and you could go ahead and join the team, right? You get some really cool perks, and one is panel priority for days like this, and you want to come up. He has a gift goal. Please help Afro Elite achieve his gift goal. Share the live out. Let's have a nice, calm conversation. I think the energy of the room is changing, Afro. So, tap, 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 okay? So we could at least get, there's 300 people in this room, over 300. You could at least get them to 60K likes. Also, I suggest for today, since we're having a different demographic in here, we keep the cameras off.
Yeah, let's do that. We all know what they'll do. They'll take that and they'll take that. And they'll run with it. And they'll show something that shouldn't be shown on the app just to take it down. They're destructive like that. So let's not do that. Let me get y'all real quick because we gotta get the fam in here. Let's get to Drip.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, not much. Yeah, it just shows the lack of integrity as a man, the lack of intelligence, the lack of decency as a human. Like, some of the stuff that people are saying is just asinine, and it's sad because the first thing he was saying was nobody's scared of you. Nobody's trying to make you scared. Nobody's trying to threaten you or do anything like that. But guess what? My grandmother was from Louisiana. And she's saying some things that, some people shouldn't see. All I'm going to say is this. Yesterday ain't today. That shit ain't happening.
Appreciate that. It's a new time. Appreciate that. I appreciate you coming up and joining us. Gotta cycle the room through. I'm personal. All right, let's get to Professor Allen. Did you like get to go fully or?
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm waiting my turn, brother. But you're on topic. It really supercharged me because I wanted to tell you what this really is about, according to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, in her book, The ISIS Papers, which I advise everybody to buy while you still can. Her only book, actually, on page 107. It says, quote, "It should make clear that here the black," and I'm not going to say the word because it might flag, but the black males, let's just say private part, is the most feared relative to the genital apparatus of other non-YT males because in possessing the greatest potential to produce melanin, the pigment responsible for all true skin coloration, black males have the greatest genetic potential to annihilate global YT supremacy. Now, what did that mean? That meant that in the 1400s, when YT start going across the world in their ships that was given to them by the Moors, but that's another point, they started to grape other groups of women, melanated women. And when the ships were being repaired, in 10 months, a baby would be born. And they started to notice right away that a YT man plus a melanated woman, particularly a black woman, equaled a baby that was not YT. And they came to the conclusion that should black males jump on boats and return the favor, if you will, and start doing the same thing to their women, they would disappear. They would no longer exist. And a great fear built on black American men, particularly women too, but men particularly, because we have the potential with love to annihilate their whole group. So his fear is deeply rooted in a smexual sense. They feel, according to Dr. Welsing, smexually inferior to the black male because if we got what they want, that baby would not be YT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they women, if their women felt like they had a safe choice to go the other way, they would.
Yep.
They only come with them when it's a backup, when they're getting old and out the game and all that stuff. They're really not even, they're upset. That's why the whole red pill, if y'all didn't know, the whole red pill manosphere stuff, it started with their community because they were upset because of the way the women were responding to them. It didn't start with black folk. It started with them. They were upset about that because they don't have respect among their women. Okay. Their women don't like them and they feel that way. That's why a lot of these times when you see these incels and everything, they feel angry and rejected. Okay. Which is another reason why they're insecure about black people,
Well,
black men in particular.
Brother Afro, they know history more than we do, which is my purpose in our ethnic group and our race, is to educate people on true history. They know the history of Europe. If you look at the bubonic plague and the black D word, European culture. Read the book Dirt. Talks all about it. They were so filthy. I'm not trying to be pejorative. I'm just telling the truth. It was so filthy and unsanitary that they were getting diseases and unaliving. And Moors, jet black Moors, came in with their science to save Spain and Germany, and they did. And their women who were pure white tea, blonde hair, blue eyes, even the Spanish blonde hair, blue eyes. The women looked at their own men and came to the conclusion, "Why am I with you? You can't save me." And they started having babies with those jet black Moors. So and that's what the running of the bull is about. Jet black bull is like a representation of a black man. They're afraid of us sexually because the Moors, the women, the white tea women chose upon those jet black Moors so hard that places like Spain and Italy are a permanent mulatto class. You can look up a Spanish, I'm talking about Europe, I'm not talking about Mexico or the South America. Look up a Spanish picture and they look like, some of them look like me and I'm black. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a deep-seated insecurity that, man, if, like you said, Afro, if the white tea woman had a choice, they would pick us. And that's what that whole, and I think Foundational was saying this, that's what that whole media push in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s of making the white tea man a superhero was to subliminally say, white tea women, you should get with a white tea man because you're going to be financially stable. But these spaces and this new black media has released the truth. And the truth is they broke too, and they are running scared. They're thereby creating red pill to try to further that narrative.
Yes, yeah, real talk. Yes, indeed. That's 100% correct. And when you talk about Spanish and Italian people, this is why Italian people and Spanish people, they weren't really seen as YT for a while. They had to fight to get in that because they still kind of look at them sideways sometimes. They still kind of be like, you're not really white like that. They still kind of feel that way. Why do you think they have curlier hair than everybody, or they can tan a little bit more than everybody else? Because they like, yeah, you still carry that Negro gene. I don't know about you. They're like deeply insecure about that, and it's something that we can't handle because this stuff stems from centuries. This is centuries of insecurity that they've passed down genetically. So there's nothing we can do about it. But let me hear what our brother EJ has to say. EJ, what's going on?
Afro, how you doing? Yeah, that mayonnaise monkey that came in here earlier, he was an unstable individual, and they always got to come in and cheerlead for their, YT supremacist brethren when it comes to their delusional videos and the content that they make off of Black Americans, suffering and stuff. But this just goes to show you that this is not the 1940s, the 1950s, or even the civil rights era. Some of us will, regulate, in the words of the GOAT Warren G. A lot of these folks clearly haven't got the message in the year 2026, and hopefully, all the brothers and sisters out there are clutching those candy bars and making sure that you're well protected. Because a clown like this, I didn't even know he was, dressing in different uniforms. Wink, wink. Because dudes like that, they got that type of mindset. Do have the tendency to be dressing up like Sailor Moon and doing poses like it's a Beyonce concert. But the majority of these folks are cowardly and they ain't gonna do nothing to fix their community, let alone the baby mama problems within the trailer parks that they stay in. But for that brother, with that being said, I'm gonna go talk to my mom because he's over here, and I'm gonna land my plane for now. But I still want to be on the panel though.
All right, appreciate that. Appreciate you, bro. Happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day to y'all, sisters. Let's get to
Thank you, Afro.
Alec, you welcome. Alec. Oh, we'll exercise a little bit of okay. We'll exercise a little bit of panel priority. So Sage, brother, talk to me, Sage. Talk to me. Now you gonna go on to cup the second I call you Sage. You really gonna do me like that? Okay,
No,
there
no,
you
no,
go.
no, no. You're good. You're good. So, did you say panel priority? And you went to me. I feel so special. So from what I gauged from what my brother EJ was saying, and I'm guessing other came up on stage and was talking crazy to BX about their violence or something like that, and BX got into it with, I'm guessing, someone from the lineage about the Bronx or something like that. If I have
No,
that,
they said they were Latina. That
oh, oh.
Bronx black Americans are scared of Latinas. I said, well, you must be talking about the Jamaicans and stuff, because who you think was beating up your moms?
Got it, got it. Okay. So I joke a lot about, New York and about the Bronx and all that. But that's the inside family joke. When you're talking about who commits crimes up there in the Bronx, you need to really run those numbers because that's not really my people. You're talking about, you're not really talking about what's going on in the South Bronx. You're talking about White Plains Road. You need to learn who lives over there and these people that actually live over there. The Bronx is actually a great place to. Can't believe I'm about to say this. The Bronx is actually a decent place to live when you're talking about cultural wise. It holds and encapsulates a lot of vintage New York, and just some of the people that are there are still, some of them are still foundational. I don't understand why it gets. Well, I understand why it gets a bad stigma because back in the 70s and 80s, I got it. But the Bronx has places in which you would go to and not even realize that you're still in the Bronx, to be honest with you. It's a very diverse borough in that sense. I don't know why people that have never been to the Bronx would comment on the Bronx, but I'll just leave it at that. As far as Chud, I would love to invite him up to New York City. I mean, I heard about what happened down there in Tennessee. Shout out to those brothers there. I would love for him to come up to New York with that. We would love to have you. It will definitely be fun. I just don't think you'll be making the trip back home. And as far as being afraid of us, I'm not looking for anyone to be afraid of me. I know my brother Afro's not looking for anyone to be afraid of him. We don't want you to be afraid of us. But at the same time, no, I'm not going to say but, because but usually erases everything you said. I don't want you to be afraid of me. Also, what you need to think about is the fact that we're smartening up. We're not fighting with, can you say fighting? Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're not going at it with G's anymore, GUNs anymore. We're actually using our intelligence, and that's what I love about my generation and moving forward. We're not going to sit up here just crying to people about what's right, what's wrong. No, 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 no. We're going to make things right and make things wrong. Now, as far as freedom of speech, what that man is doing is not freedom of speech, and that's why we need an anti-black hate crime bill. Now, whether these others agree with it or not, it needs and it will happen. But like I said, if you think that, walking up to somebody and chat sizing and trying to humiliate them is going to be a free pass, as you see with your homeboy or your Lord and Savior, Chud, whatever this guy's name is, it may not work out for you like that. And with that, I want to say again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that's, around. Definitely. BX, this one's for you. I am not too keen with this little animal I got in my house today because he went outside and rolled in the dirt and he is not white right now. So I'm gonna go back to dealing with that situation. It's not okay. And I'm gonna go back to dealing with that situation. And he's not too happy at me right now. He's actually on punishment. Hold on, I have to do it. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
He's actually on punishment right now.
Yeah, let him play with the squeaky toy.
Aww.
Shut up, EJ. Shut up. He's actually on punishment, so he can't move right now. I got to do some washing, but yeah. Other than that, peace to the family.
Why the doggy doesn't have a doggy bed?
He got a bed. You want to see his bed? They're
He got a
downstairs.
beard. But
Okay.
as we move on, I want to also add this when it comes down to it. Notice how the media, the left media and the right, the liberal media and the conservative media, notice how the media is not saying nothing about this guy. I mean, he's gone viral and all of that stuff, but they're really not bringing him up. Now, if he was black, we know for a fact both the Fox News, they would be on it 24/7, and then the media would be saying something, okay? They'd be all like, I mean, we do have to have a conversation. The fathers in the neighborhood need to step up. They need to do something, but you can't be antagonizing people like this. The Fox News would be all like, you see these thugs, this is what they do. They listen to rap music, and it's King Von's fault somehow. And he did something. But notice they're not saying nothing
Damn
about
Chief
it when it
Keef's
comes
fault,
to
Afro.
him.
It's Chief Keef's fault. All those Chicagoans,
All
those
this,
those
yeah,
Chiracians.
all of that stuff, and they just gangbang and skip school, and they just commit crimes, and it's glorified in their community because they're on welfare. That's what they be saying. But now that it's Chud, you don't see the media saying a peep, not anything. They haven't even addressed it. Now this has gone viral. He's got millions of views, and they don't want to say anything.
Afro, can I add on to what you're saying? Because there's a gentleman up here by the name of Hawk Newsom, and the media can't say nothing good about this brother. Now, I don't agree with everything that Hawk does, but I know that he definitely does advocate for our people. And the way he might go about it, I may not agree with, but again, as long as you're advocating, I don't care. We're on the same team. But the media, I'm noticing, like you said, they can't say any. You met Hawk Newsom, Afro. You know who I'm talking about. The media can't say anything positive about this brother. They don't say anything positive about him because of what he advocates for. But my thing is, again, you got this guy with this cowboy hat walking around, and the media just isn't saying anything at all. So let me get this right. Big black man, Hawk Newsom, you say all negative coverage all day, 24/7. All day. But when it comes to Chud, I don't hear anything. It's like he doesn't exist. I wouldn't even know about this dude had, you guys and Tariq brought that to my attention. So with that, I'm going to land.
Yo, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get to T. Omar. Notice how Kick banned him. I guess you can give him whatever credit you want to give him for that. But notice how Kick didn't come out with a statement being all like, we do not condone this type of behavior. We will not allow our platform to be used to harass black people or to target black people or to use racial slurs and try to instigate a physical alter. Notice how Kick is not even really saying anything. Our fault for even allowing this man to have a platform like this. No, everybody is kind of being quiet. Okay, so he's still being treated with YT privilege, and we can't forget that. T. Omar, you want to say something?
Yeah. Good day, folks. Good day, folks. The thing Chud does that gives me the slightest bit of consolation is that he's proving the stereotype that he uses to be incorrect. I mean, if we were as violent as white people make us all out to be, he would have been stomped out by now. He would no longer be living on this plane anymore. So in his efforts to, I don't know, fuel the stereotype that we're hostile or irrational around a single word, he's also showing the world like, nah, especially being that he only chooses to do this with regular folks going about their day. He's not in the hood nowhere. He's nowhere near people or the places that they claim are super violent. He goes out to public spaces where rational people are to try to force irrationality out of them. Even when you have a conversation with people on here about the N word, you'll run across those panels from time to time. You ask them like, okay, you feel like black people shouldn't have any feelings about it anyway. Cool, that one word. Do you apply that to all words? Do you apply that to words that are derogatory towards women? Do you apply that to words that are derogatory towards LGBT, alternative lifestyles? No, it's just this one. So there's your asymmetry. Why is this one? Why do you feel that this is the one that everyone should rise above their humanity for? Everyone should behave, quote unquote, a lot better around. It's because, to the point that was made earlier, you derive some sort of well, technically a sadist, you get some sort of sadist pleasure from antagonizing people's emotions, specifically black people's emotions. You'll protect other people's emotions. You understand that calling a woman out her name is disrespectful. You won't support that, but you derive some sort of pleasure from this, antagonizing black people like that. That's the one thing. The other thing about somebody like Chud, or people in general like Chud, he's portraying this facade of strength, but in reality, he's leaning on the strength of other men. The first thing that he quotes when someone confronts him is First Amendment rights. That's a document written by other men. It's held together by a country. You're leaning on the strength of a country to protect you in this moment. Then when people actually approach him like it's about to get physical, he either reaches for bear mace or a firearm. You yourself, the individual, are not strong enough to stand on this conviction that you're selling us. You're dependent on that, and you're dependent on police to come save you if it gets too crazy. You would not disarm yourself and wander out into a place that actually has hostile people and do this. You're doing it in the safest form possible. So in those two ways, I'll land here. My only concern about it, because I think this is a problem that will solve itself. My only concern about it is when we watch Charlie Kirk meet his demise, the first thing that they did was jump on the internet and beg Donald Trump to allow them to go start a race war, essentially. That was the first mindset. And then, oh, turns out he's a white man. No recompense, no recollection, no, oh, my bad. No. Unfortunately, I believe that he is going to get himself into something, and then a bunch of lunatics are going to use that as a reason to go off the handle, however that may be. And I can't, at this particular point, based on this administration, I don't feel comfortable that this administration, or they won't lend their powers to whatever he starts, unfortunately. But I appreciate him.
Thank you for that. Hey, look, if they started, we're going to finish it. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't worried about it. Because Chud is scared. All of that, but to your point, I do agree with. To your point, these people are galvanized behind him because they feel like he's some type of messiah of white bravery. So, okay. All right. We're going to see. They're going to have to find out the hard way.
I'm going to borrow that messiah of white bravery. That was good. That was a good one.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna find that out. Let's get to Doctor.
Peace. You guys are having an excellent conversation, man. I gotta add to it though, real quick. We have to understand that when I call them double N's, Neanderthal, blank, you can figure it out. But these Eurasians, they have a severe inferiority complex when it comes to us. And this is nowhere better seen than in their epidemic of cluster B personality disorders. I think a lot of them are undiagnosed. I think their culture is a scarcity culture. I was going to use the unalive word, but an unaliving culture. It's a culture of negativity where they, in a sense, act like a parasitical mothering type relationship with us. It's very interesting. I'll recommend a book called Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited to kind of understand the mind of the Eurasian, because you just saw them in here. They have no actual points. They only have feelings, and they're all negative feelings, counter feelings, right? Very interesting. I think we really need to harp on that and marry that narcissism cluster B piece with the Francis Cress Wilson piece. Then you also went into the left and the right. They're not covering Chud. It's very interesting that there's all these little civil conflicts and unrest in the YT community, in the left, in the right. They're fighting each other. They're doing all these things. And it's because they have no real central identity except to be anti somebody else. That's all they have, to shake a fist. I pick a side, you pick a side, let's split. It's a psychological phenomenon that's mentioned in that book. Let's split, and now I'm all right and you're all wrong. That's how they want to put us. And the FBA thing with our lineage delineation, it separates us from these dialectics that they can live in and argue from. That's the only way they can interact with us in any type of meaningful way or unmeaningful way. So I really want us to understand that. Then another piece, Chud the Builder was caught, like you mentioned, cross-dressing. There's a lot of them that are like that. And it's tied to the smexual piece. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, black folks. You're not dealing with men. You're dealing with punks. That's all I got to say.
and that fuels their insecurity, that confusion with them cross-dressing and them wanting to be on the other side, but they don't really want to go that far and all that stuff. But they desire it. That confusion that builds up in them, and they lash out. It makes them lash out on black men who they see as the ultimate figure of masculinity, according to them, because otherwise they wouldn't do it. You wouldn't even feel tough if you're picking on somebody who you feel is smaller than you. The fact that you feel tough by picking on black people, notice they don't do this to the Asian community. They don't do this to Hispanics. They feel tough when they feel like they can stand toe to toe against a black man. I'm tough, because they view black men as the ultimate figures of masculinity, and they feel that's we're the final boss in their head, So
Yeah, real quick, Afro, I do want to add this. Something that I noticed to speak to your point. Every time they do a tough guy voice on their little streams and whatnot, they always pretend to be us. I noticed that. That's very interesting. Yeah. They're like, yeah, I was talking to her. They like kind of do this imitation, this proxy of us. And it speaks to your point so well, brother. Like, they really see us as actually the only masculine people in the world. That's another thing, too. Who came up with the culture of saying pause and no homo? That's us. They didn't do that because their culture is really that type of stuff. And they don't see it until they interact with us, and we're like a comparison type of thing. But that's all. My bad. I just had to say that.
That's true. Going back to Europe, if you guys have watched the movie Buck Breaking, going back to Europe, they was getting down like that. The men were getting down like that. I don't want to say too much on TikTok, but they was getting down like that. Okay, so that's another part of their culture too.
Afro, you remember what I said earlier about the Bronx's culture? Now, what did this brother just bring up? Pause. No, I don't even know if you can say that H word. That originated in the Bronx. That saying right there, that came from the Bronx.
Hold on, sir. We're gonna let you go ahead.
Double in.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know.
And also,
Sage, you was saying that as a good thing, or
no.
Of course, it would be the Bronx,
No. I'll wait today. I'll wait today to make fun of the Bronx. But what I would say is, that's something.
Still speak English in the Bronx,
dude. Are you from New York, bro? Are you from New York, bro?
Where's your family?
Half your state is Dominican, so I was wondering if you guys still spoke English.
Okay, hold on. Before we go, you're gonna have to have enough IQ to wait your turn. All right. This isn't the space where you feel like you have the privilege, that your racial privilege doesn't count. It doesn't exist here. All right. So, just wait.
Well, if I may, Afro, because a lot of people have this misconception about New York. I want to explain what New York State is about. New York City has about 8.7 million people that live in it. For everyone that thinks about their whole body, look at your foot, people, okay? New York City is about your pinky toe. The rest of the state is the rest of your foot, including the rest of your toes, okay? So to say that half of my state is Dominican, you clearly have not been here. There are about 2 to possibly 250,000 Dominicans that live in New York. I just said there are 8.7 million people that live in New York City. So again, to say that, you sound... I'm not even going to comment on that. But anyway, BX, do me a favor. Check your DM.
How many of those 8 million are rats and roaches?
Hold on, Dum Dum. Hold on. Which is your name, Dum Dum? Hold on. We're going to get you Trey Parks.
Please, Afro, I don't know what's going on. A lot of dummies in here.
Trey Parks, go ahead. You got it.
What's up, family? What's up, y'all?
How you doing?
I'm really happy, Professor Allen. What's up, bro? How you brought up history about
What's
this?
up, bro?
Yeah, because one thing about history is that history is like the cheat code to the future because people don't change. Like all these different nations, like who we are, who they are operating from the same spirit. The whole reason why we even know of Europeans is because they was doing so much unaliving amongst themselves that they had to export it or they was wipe themselves out. That was the whole crusade was about. Y'all remember that movie Kingdom of Heaven? Big like 3-hour movie, stuff epic and everything. What they don't tell you about that movie is that the whole reason they went down to Jerusalem and the Middle East and stuff is because they couldn't stop fighting each other, especially the French. They could not stop. And the Pope was getting with the leaders to look, we got to have some reason to take this violence outside of our community because we cannot stop it. And so we understand about the Europeans. You know what Chud Billion is doing? That's just genetics. That's like the spirit that his nation has. He can't help it. So the idea of like maybe talking to them or explaining to them or bringing some kind of humanity out of them or teaching. I'm not saying about what anything is doing. I'm just saying like just internally, they don't have it.
Yeah.
And even what Dr. Torrey was saying, right? Remember back in Greece, what we now look down on as that island people activity, that was considered fashionable. They actually had places where those boys grew up knowing that that is what they would become when some older guy decided that he wanted a companion. And this was their senators and elites doing this. So we
Brother,
have
if I can quickly interject for 5 seconds,
oh,
y'all
go ahead.
look this up. There is literally an island of Lesbos. I'm really serious. Island of Lesbos. That's what he's talking about. An island called Lesbos. Yes, look it up.
Yeah, initially, yeah, I mean that too. But I mean, no, really, like the PED, that was fashionable. Not even just the lesbos were just like necessarily women, which is true too. But the PED stuff was. So now we get here today, and now because what there is, they're trying to pretend like us, trying to pretend like they have humanity. They're trying to pretend like they have spirit, like to feel the earth. That's why they can tear the earth up so much with all this oil and stuff, because they don't care about the earth, because they don't feel the spirit of the earth. So they're trying to pretend to be like us. Oh no, that's bad. Oh no, we don't like that. No, but really, if they had their way, they would do it all and wouldn't have blinking eyes. So this Chud the Builder guy, I think you're right though when they were saying like he's very strategic about the places that he goes. He ain't taking that everywhere. But yeah, I love history of it. I love this panel and everything, and I'm just gonna sit here in the background. All right, that's it for me.
I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Dum, you have something you have to say?
Yeah, I was talking to the New York people. New York is it's full of Hispanics. It's a pretty dirty place.
Sir, before you go,
So go ahead.
respectfully, where are you from?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City. Have you been to New York?
Yeah, I've been to that dirty place.
When's the last time you were in New York?
2018.
2018. What part of New York did you go to?
I went to Manhattan. I went to Queens. When I say Manhattan, Harlem, Washington Heights, that's where all the Hispanics are. The Bronx. I went to Queens with all the Jamaican people driving their little dollar cabs around.
Okay, and hold on. And what was the cause of you going to these places?
It was visiting. I had a friend that lived in Queens. Queens is like the only place with like trees and grass. The rest of them live in concrete with
so
trash
you have a
everywhere.
friend that lived in Queens. You said you also went to the Bronx too, right?
Yeah, I went to a strip club in the Bronx.
What was your purpose of going there?
I went to a strip club. They used to have a strip club called Sin City in the Bronx.
You do sound like a simp.
Okay.
The way you talking to.
There was nothing wrong with the strip club. So I went to the strip club in the Bronx. And then they used to have this little one street with all the little Dominican people called the Dykeman Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked over there and, they're all over there playing on the fire hydrants and playing and, hanging off the fire escapes and stuff like that.
And what did you see when you went there? So you saw a bunch of
BBLs and people that all lived in the same apartment as each other. People who couldn't drive because they had to take the trains everywhere. And a lot of trash.
Okay. And and you're assuming that means black people are dirty, or what are you getting at?
No, those people in New York aren't black. I saw like 3 black people. It's all people from the Caribbean. I call them Pirates of the Caribbean. It's all people from the Dominicans and the Haiti people and the Jamaican people, dirty whining in the middle of the street. Those aren't black people. Black people, a lot of them live in the South. They live in places like Atlanta, Houston, St. Louis, stuff like that, Memphis. New York is been washed by Yardies or Caribbeans. It's a big refugee place full of refugees.
Hold on. You're saying that based off of you visiting New York one time in 2018.
Oh, I've been several times. It hasn't just been once. Been in New York a couple times.
And you ask people their ethnicity while you're walking down the street?
Well, in New York, they tell you their ethnicity. They wave they have a Memorial Day parade where they wave these little Caribbean flags everywhere.
You mean
I didn't
Labor
even know what
Day?
the Caribbean flags were
But that
until I
doesn't,
seen
hold
all
on,
these different
but
people.
you're trying to imply that Black Americans don't live in New York. And I'm
No,
trying to
not a lot
figure
of them.
out
They went back down south. I went to the
who
Apollo.
told you,
It
who
was
told
full
you
of
that? Who
Jamaicans.
told you that? Who
I
told
went
you
to
that?
Apollo. It was full of Jamaicans and Haitians.
Who told you that Black
You can
Americans
look.
went back down south?
Oh, it's a fact. Look at
It's a
the
fact from
ethnicity
where?
of
It's a fact.
people.
Okay, substantiate that fact.
Oh, there was a reverse migration of people going back to the south. It's been happening.
So there,
People have left New York. Most black people have left
I'm
New York.
saying they move. You said they moved back to the south, which
Yes.
no, there are
Yes.
some who have, but a lot of them, majority of them who moved up there, they have not gone back to the south. They've stayed in New York.
So you're telling me, I have a friend on here from Harlem. You're telling me Harlem is full of black Americans?
You to
I have
stop
two people in here from New
your
York right now, actually.
anecdotal. Thank you.
Yes.
Your
Live
anecdotal is
around
no,
four.
no. Your anecdotal observation really doesn't mean ish to me, right? So, foundational Black Americans are
Remy Ma.
still heavily. Hold on, we outnumber the melanated immigrants, right? The Latinos are kind of hard to gauge, but what you're not realizing is that New York is very segregated, and the Bronx is no different. The Bronx actually has the most parks out of the boroughs, right? So, depending on the area you are in, you're going to see Caribbean, right? Because they have enclaves, they're insular. So when they migrate here and they send for their family, they're all moving into the same area. Black Americans are spread out, but we're still here, and narratives like yours is harmful. Now, what I can say, you're giving the wrong dates, right? So 2018 was okay as far as cleanliness. But after the Biden and Harris legal invasion of the immigrants, yes, the Bronx has become more dirty. I'm going to admit it. However, we're dealing with different demographics now. A Mexican was never in the area I'm in. Now they're on the track playing soccer, right? Then we got the other off-brand Latinos over there somewhere on Westchester. So the demographics are changing, sir. But foundational Black Americans are still here. And what we're facing, right, is all types of systemic things. Hispanics are locking our men out of construction jobs in Harlem, right? They're locking us out of probably healthcare in the government too, right? Because of the likes of AOC and Yvette Clarke. So it's systemic reasons, but we're fighting. Let me be clear about that. We're fighting the ethnocide we're going through. So some of the demographics have changed, but you're off on your timeline, sir. Black Americans are still here.
Well, you guys keep the fight
No, I
going.
want stage to go behind me. I want stage to go
Everybody,
behind
hold
me.
on.
I think we giving blood too much of a voice to
Before
him.
we do that, because this conversation is not about New York, you're trying to pivot the conversation.
Facts.
Tell me what you think about Chud the Builder, which is the topic.
I think he's funny, but I think that you shouldn't get mad. You shouldn't take the bait. I think he's a clown. I mean, I think he's funny, and I think the one thing I can respect about him versus any of the other people, like the Nick Fuentes's of the world, he's out saying his message in public. He's not in some studio. He's not in some basement somewhere. So I can't respect that. Do I agree with what he's doing? I think he's crazy, but and I wish he would go and do this with other groups of people, right? Because Hispanics out there, they need to have a Chud the Builder. Jewish people need to have a Chud the Builder.
No.
They do.
They don't know, sir. No. I'm that type of person, and I'm not an advocate for any other community, but I'm not gonna have a platform where other communities get racially targeted.
Why not? They should have to earn their right here like everybody else.
No, y'all didn't earn the right here.
Who is y'all?
Your people, your community.
Who is my people?
Where
you know me
from in Europe? Where are your people from in Europe?
I'm not European. I'm American.
What? No,
I'm from
where are your people from in Europe? Where are your people from in Europe?
I'm from Missouri. I'm from Missouri. I'm from Kansas
Where are
City.
your people from before America?
They're not from anywhere outside of the United States.
No, they are. They are.
That's not true.
History. You don't know your history, homie.
That's not
Okay, well,
true.
he doesn't
It is
know. A
definitely
lot
true.
of
It's
them
But
don't.
what
definitely
I'm
true.
A
saying
lot
is
of them
this:
don't.
if you can't
Nah, you don't
take
get done. You don't
jokes,
get to move on to the next
Now,
one,
hold
homie.
on. Here's
Where
the
are you
thing.
from?
Hold on. Stop.
I'm from
Stop.
Missouri,
Stop.
a
Stop.
Californian. Go do something about the Mexicans.
No, we don't got to
Don't
do
No,
nothing about
stop. Okay,
nothing,
Yeah,
hold
bro.
you
on,
See, you
Emmy.
do.
don't,
No,
you
Yeah,
don't
no,
you
no.
do.
under.
You
We're not going
kissing
to
Hey,
do
let me
that.
get
Mexican
him, bro.
No,
Let me
we're
ass.
get
not
him.
going to do that.
Get your
Everybody
white ass
mute.
Nah,
up,
let me get
nigga.
I'm
him. Let me
not
get
You know
him.
white.
what?
Try it
I'm
Mute
again.
gonna
up.
I'm gonna
Mute
talk
up.
to Afro for a minute. Afro, he
Mute
has
up.
something against the Latinos. This is the wrong line. If he wants to go be xenophobic, bigoted, or prejudiced against Latinos, he should go find their line. I don't know what his agenda is, but you're not gonna come in here when we're talking about the white tea. You're not gonna throw a monkey wrench into them, okay? Then this is not me being on their side. This is me protecting the integrity of this life. Cut it
He's,
out.
yeah. What
Why
you're
is it
trying.
The
wrong for me
cold
to
part
Hold
say
about
on,
it
all
is
niggas,
groups
though,
get
stop.
blood is
picked
Everybody
on?
salt.
stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Now, you want people to, you want to go over and be brave. You think it's funny, right?
I think he's trolling.
You think he's trolling.
Yes.
If a grown man went to a preschool or a kindergarten and started harassing and antagonizing children, would that be funny?
Depends on what he said.
Depends on what he says.
Got
Yeah.
him.
And what would he say that would make it appropriate versus inappropriate? Where is
I
that
don't know.
line?
Maybe cracking some Paw Patrol jokes or something like that. I don't know.
So if a grown man, stranger, went to a school with young kids and started recording them like he's doing here and putting it on the internet and literally trying to antagonize and harass them, you would find that funny?
I believe that's against the law.
No. It's not about the law. You said you would
No,
find
it
it
is.
funny.
It is legal.
No,
What he's
no.
doing is legal.
I'm asking you your opinion on it being funny or not. Not legal, but
Yeah, it
funny.
depends on what they did.
On what they did.
Yeah, it
Wow.
depends on the
Yeah, it's
context of
too
what
it's
they
too
did.
hot for you to answer the question, homie. It's because
Yeah,
your morals
hey,
is at
homie,
stake.
yeah, me and the homies on the
But
bumper.
listen,
Yeah,
listen to
we
him.
gonna go
Listen
to
to
the
him though.
function. It's
Listen
me
to
and the
him though.
homies.
Listen to him though. He
So
think he
Go
you find
triggering
listen
that
to
you.
No Jumper.
funny.
Go
So
listen
here's
to
the
Listen,
a No
bro.
thing.
Jumper
You
podcast.
have
Okay,
Okay,
no
hold on.
idea
Stop
you
it.
of
guys
your
Stop.
got
own
fucked
Stop.
history.
by
Stop.
Hispanics out your neighborhood. It's just a fact. I can't
Stop.
respect California people.
And you gotta let me get
Stop.
him.
Hey,
No,
homies.
I'm
Yeah, go
gonna
wear
let you
your
go ahead. I'm gonna
Cortezes.
let you
Go put
go
your
ahead in just a
Cortezes on.
second.
All right,
We're
for sure.
almost done with this. I want y'all to see the mentality of these people. They don't care if you talk about black. They like picking on quote unquote weaker people, what they believe is weaker people. They like feeling bigger and stronger. Okay. They like doing harm and damage, even if it's to kids.
All people should get picked on.
According to statistics, most of the crimes, I want everybody to understand this and look it up. Y'all don't have to because I already know y'all
You talking
know,
about white
but
people?
y'all
Yeah.
can look it up. Dumb. Most crimes that happen toward children happen among their community. Oh,
Hey, what is a
way
Got
crime?
him.
overwhelmingly.
Got him.
Way overwhelmingly. And I know that in the fact that I said things about children and he's all like, I mean, it would depend. If you asked a black man that question, a black man would say absolutely no. But he's not going to say
What if
that
it was R.
because
Kelly?
he doesn't view,
What
stop
if
it.
you asked R.
He
Kelly that
doesn't view,
question?
that's enough from you, man. I feel like that was more than enough. That's more than enough. They don't view crimes against children. They don't view grown men, whether they're harassing, antagonizing, picking, making fun. They don't view that as something wrong. Okay, which is why with that type of mentality, it's a no-brainer why most crimes that happen to children happen among his type of people. It's a no-brainer. He just came out and said, hey, it would depend. It might be funny.
But
Yeah, what's
Even
dangerous?
the kids aren't safe
that's
around
how
people
dangerous
like
these
Chuck.
individuals are though. You see what I'm saying? They take it as far as to dealing with the children. And we know that's how they've been getting down because we all know our own history, how they used to do our children. So when you got individuals like this in power, and you got an individual that come on and think that Chud the Builder ain't nothing but a D man walking, it's just like, okay, you trying to trigger a race of people into basically unaliving all of y'all because they don't even understand the type of youngsters that we got. All they need to do is understand who the enemy truly is. It ain't your brethren. It ain't the one right next to you. It ain't even the one claiming the other side. See, a lot of the things that people like Chud the Builder is doing, they bringing us together on a higher vibration. And we got individuals watching exactly what they doing. Like I said in the chat, pay the Dolphins to handle Chud the Builder. I wouldn't put nobody on him. I pay every dope fiend in the city. You see what I'm saying? When you see this dude, let us know. Go get on him. I got something for you. You feel me? Black folks, we need to keep our hands clean and we need to turn our back on whoever these individuals are. Bro who just came in here, we don't need to give him no light of day. We need to turn our back on them, create our own society, because this is the world we finna give our children. Their society of individuals already let us know that they okay with messing with kids, eating kids, putting them on camera, torturing kids. That ain't even...
That we're on TikTok, so just be...
Okay, my fault, G. It blows my mind. I was born in 85. I don't even know where I'm living at no more. You see what I'm saying? So when I got somebody come on here trying to support Chud to whoever he is, when the last video, we see that he a sucker. You see what I'm saying? You put some pressure on him, he gonna, you can make him come out of everything. So what we need to do is, we need to let everybody know, look, bro, we paying the zombies in the street to handle y'all. You come outside, the zombies is on you. Everybody know that the zombies rock with us. So that's what we need to deal with. As far as our priesthood, individuals like you, my brother that's hosting this chat, we don't need to deal with individuals like that. Because he's nothing. I'm from Oakland, right? Our whole society in my city growing up was all based on dealing with COINTEL. So we know what decoys are, schizoid, piezoid. We got a lot of, the Bay Area got a lot of slang based on dealing with COINTEL. Individuals that'll look like you, put on your clothes, come in here and try to buy something from you, right? Or the CIA giving officers the right to basically commit crimes, bruh. You see what I'm saying? And then arrest the people they committed the crimes with. So this is how far they'll take it, because they don't have no respect for the law, mind you. But there's a law of the land that the Most High presented. So the Most High operates out of time and space. So ultimately, how we deal with individuals like this is not playing their game. You turn your back on them. If we put these individuals on their own island, in their own area, they wouldn't even...
Somebody spam your comment section.
What?
Who's spamming the comment section?
Oh, it's 5 up, 4 down.
I haven't seen him, but okay. If I see him, if y'all see him, can y'all mute him? If we,
yeah, he's definitely spamming Afro. He's saying you're promoting violence.
Who's saying? I don't see that person
5
saying.
up, 4
I see
down.
it, Afro. 5 up, 4 down.
Okay.
Somebody got him.
Okay.
5 followers and 4 following. He's bounced.
Okay.
Yeah, but you gotta. So when it comes to COINTEL, you gotta watch individuals like that, because they could be dropping numbers on us. Understand 3, 6, 9, 12, and understand the energy. That's who we are. We energetic beings. So you gotta understand COINTEL not only hit you in the physical, but it hit you in the spiritual too. That's where all the flock cameras and the 5G, all of that stuff is dealing with your spirit that's outside of time and space. They don't know nothing about that. So they think that a dude like Chud the Builder ain't a CIA agent, but I know he is. I know he is. In Oakland, bruh, we would have never touched him. We'd have never been on camera with him. We'd have never done nothing with him. We'd have let him do all of that. We'd have paid a few dolphins in the street, and that would have been the end of it. You feel me? You got to understand the CIA is operating on us, bruh. They understand exactly who we are. You feel me? And understand what that sun doing to us while they blocking it out. So we absorbing the sunlight, right? Okay, well, what is the sun telling us? Or what is the sun preparing us for? You feel me? The sun gives us intelligence. So it's a reason why in my household, right? I homeschool, right? I homeschool because I'm forced to homeschool because of what they're doing at the school with the children. But ultimately, the universe is telling me to homeschool. The universe is telling us to stop eating fast food. The universe is telling us to stop doing a lot of things. Why? Because of what's fitting to happen. You feel me? So you have individuals, the sun is telling somebody like Chud the Builder to go out there and do what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? It's a separation outside of their frequency. They don't even know what's going on. So you got a dude come on here, right? He like, yeah. The homie asked him, okay, well, if it was done to children, is that wrong? He can't even answer the question. He can't even fake the funk. And it's almost 400 people in this live listening. You see what I'm saying? That's the sun keeping him away from consciousness. We don't got to do nothing to them. All we got to do is turn our back on them. Let the zombies deal with them, because that's the frequency they at. We priesthood. My black women and my black men. You feel me? We need to teach our black youngsters, sit back, watch the show. Because the 85 babies, man, we've been waiting for this, bruh. I didn't heard too much about Martin Luther King growing up and all of this hanging, all of that. I've been wanting to get it in. So ultimately, I know it's a bunch of other people that feel the same way I do. We just got to know how to get it in. And we don't do it in the physical. You feel me? Shit, Haiti beat the French with voodoo. And that's a spiritual atom. You feel me? So ultimately, bro out there, right? We seen the video, Chud the ability to go out there, they run up on him, right? At least he walked away without no injuries. You don't know what the zombies gonna do to him, bro. They may eat him alive. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
just got to be careful with the TikTok language. But I'm gonna let you land because we're gonna get you a couple more speakers in there and wrap it up.
Nah, I'll wrap it up.
They
I'll give it up.
mass report us or something like that.
For sure. I'll give it up. Blessings to thank you for the time, brother.
I want to quickly say one thing I really love about FBA culture that we need to double down on is that tendency we have to, when we catch somebody telling a lie, of ignoring them and just moving on, just dismissing them. That Dun guy was up there lying on New York. Now, I'm a Memphis cat. Y'all know that. I'm a Southern boy. But I was, my squadron was in Rochester, New York, and I lived there over a year. And I was surprised when I lived in upstate New York because it was mostly YT and they were Republicans. So what is he talking about? Upstate New York in my area, Rochester, not Buffalo, but Rochester was like super duper Republican. I was so thrown off. So New York is diverse. You know, it's not what he's saying it was.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get him to say that because I'm all like, where and when have you been to New York exactly for you to be able to make this judgment of, well, no, New York doesn't have any Black Americans. They're all Caribbean. Like, where have you been exactly? It says a strip
He
club. So
also
I'm like, okay.
mentioned the strip club, right? And so that shows me he was around the Hunts Point area, you know, and there would have been some. Cardi B used to work at the strip clubs, you know what I'm saying? So there
No,
would have been
BS, he
that.
probably was at the other type of entertainment club too, because I don't think he's the type of person that'll go into a female themed strip
He
club the
just
way
he
that he
said
was
the
talking.
area though, the way he described it, it definitely was around the Hunts Point area. The way he described it. It's not me just thinking it. But yeah, over there are some strip clubs. So he was telling on himself. I wanted to say, what happened? She burnt you? Because he really had something against the Latinos.
Yeah, he brought that up saying, yeah, I think it's funny. You know, we need this in every community. They want to go back when they say stuff like make America great again. They want to go back to where everybody feared offending them would cause legal consequence. Like in the 1950s and the 1940s, they really glorify that time where they felt like they could walk around the street and somebody would have to cross over to the other side of the street. Or if you bumped into them, that they could call the police and you could get locked away pretty much for the rest of your life. That's what they want to return to. And now nobody feels that way about them. I mean, they get dropped quickly if they say the wrong thing. And they want to go, they so desperately want to go back to that and they can't. And they like Chud because they feel like Chud is like almost like a vision or a champion for them to return back to what they call the glory days. The days where they felt strong and powerful and all.
Hi man,
It's
can I
never
just
gonna happen, but you know.
how you doing? Can I say a couple of words?
Where are you from?
I'm from UK.
Where's your
You're
people
from
from,
UK.
brother?
Well, what's your
UK. My British Nigerian heritage. But we live in the UK. But I just want to say what's happened over here because I know FBA, you guys have a point. But I want to say what's happened because we recently had an election in the UK. And in the UK, the right wing, same as the US, MAGA folk, they're taking over. They won. So these guys are globalizing their movement. That's all I'm saying. They're globalizing their movement. They're all connected. So the leader of the party here, he's in bed with Trump. They're like best friends. They're like best friends. And this is the rhetoric that they're using out here. And it's the same rhetoric. So I'm just like, how as black people, it's like, do we do what they're doing or do you guys want to separate? Because we have people here talking about black consciousness and all black people have that melanin in them and we all have that understanding that, you know, they don't have. So there's certain things that they're talking about and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I know what Chud's the builder's doing. I've seen him on my timeline on X, like trying to rile up people, trying to get people to do bad things. But we know, I could see that coming from a mile away. So I'm with you guys on that. But I don't understand some of the other stuff like you guys want to separate. That's what I don't
Okay,
understand. When these guys are,
stay
Let the
there.
sun do
First
the
of
rest
all,
of the work, homie.
wait, God of duality. See, you think Trump started Make America Great Again. He's
I
just
don't think that.
revamping what. No.
I
Because
didn't say that.
you're acting like this is new, and he still has a. They've been mobilized. They've been globalized.
Yeah.
Reagan said "Make America Great Again" first in the 1980s, and then hit us with the chemical WARFARE. Trump has just revamped that slogan from Reagan. So, first of all, y'all don't have the consciousness like Black Americans do, right? That's why everybody run. I ain't finished. So no, we are separating. We are delineating, but that's because of you, Black
What
immigrants.
is your melanin different to mine? Is your melanin my
So
melanin?
here's the issue. It's not about melanin, right?
Why you
Because
just don't
Black
have the consciousness?
Americans, so it's about admixtures and stuff too. It's about accurate history, starting with the fact that Nigerians did sell their own people, right? So we could start there. Y'all got into bed with the Europeans, and now you're regretting that bad business deal. We don't want to fall in alliance with you. We don't want nothing to happen to y'all, but we're working on us first. We
You
gave
just
y'all
said.
over
Can I ask
60
you something?
years. I'm going to land here. Stay on your mute. Stay on your mute. We have given
Mike, man,
the
damn.
stay on. Thank you, EJ. We have given these people over 60 years, and they've come into our communities, displaced us, locked us out of government, and they diminish us and our ancestors. Saying they came here on planes, our ancestors came here and changed. We're nothing but slaves, but the slaves outdid the whole continent. So I'm tired of the melanated immigrants when they need us, right, to play on our emotions with the basis of melanin. We are operating off of consciousness. We're not
What's the
operating
difference
off of
between
melanin. We're
consciousness
all
and melanin? What's the difference? Could you explain that?
so we're operating off of consciousness and lineage. We're putting our people first, like our ancestors put us first, right? That's why we have the 14th, we have the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. That's why we have the civil rights, and we also have the 1866 Civil Rights Bill and stuff like that. They fought for us. So they could strip away the 1965 civil rights will be just fine. Why? Because we're U.S. freedmen. It's a status, and we're going to make them enact it as soon as the melanated immigrants get out of our way. We don't want to align with y'all right now. Y'all got to fight y'all. I'm going to land here.
No, no,
Y'all
okay,
got
because
to hold your
you're not
own
going to
nut.
turn this live into that. It's always
We had all that
person. I
yesterday.
mean, geez. Listen,
Nah,
let
she
me
was
ask
speaking
y'all a
facts
question.
though.
I'm going to
yesterday.
prove a point. Hold on, let me prove this point. Honestly, they don't really know what unity is for real. Honestly,
Facts.
let me ask him. Give me your definition of unity. Since you say we shouldn't be divided, we should be united. Give me your definition. What does unity mean in your eyes?
Unity for me means, in my eyes, is if for example, I I've been all around the world, yeah. If I see another black man in a country, we all have the signature nod. I see you, brother, I see you. That's a part of unity, and that's the way I look at it. So you could be anywhere in the world. You could come to Europe and you could see me, even though you could be from America, but or someone can be from Africa, someone can be from the Caribbean. You could see me and I see you, and I'll be like, I see you, bro. In the corporate world, when you're climbing the ladder and you'll see a next black man in the office or something like that, you're walking down the office and you just got there, you're new. You'd be like, I see you, bro. You do your nod. I see you. That's a universal language. You guys can't tell me that doesn't exist amongst everybody in
Okay,
this
so
world. So
if you're saying
that is a start of
so
unity
hold
for
on.
me. Yeah.
Okay, if a head nod is what you call unity, that still happens. So what is your problem then? What is the complaint?
My complaint is you just had someone on his panel said melanin and consciousness, and I asked her what's the difference between melanin and consciousness, and what's the difference between my melanin
before
and
you
your
ask
melanin.
her the difference.
She said,
You, as a Nigerian, you should ask the other tribes the difference
so
between
wait, so
melanin
then,
and consciousness. Hold on, stop before we go there, sir. First off, this is what I say when they don't even know what unity means. Because you went through this whole thing of I've been around the world, and when I see a black man walking across the street, I give him a head nod. That's unity. That's what you're complaining we don't have enough of. Is recognizing other people's existence. That's not the problem. And the thing is, when you ask them for real, they really don't have any type of basis or foundation of what true
you
unity
should be
means.
okay.
When you
How
come
much?
up here,
I just said I
sir,
gave you a
stop it.
star.
No,
I
stop.
Shut
gave you
up,
a
man.
star.
Let him
Stop.
talk. He's the host.
when you come up here and you talk about unity, we need some of that. And I let you say what unity means. Okay, yeah, let's all just give each other head nods. And there should be no complaints.
Can I
Because if
finish?
you say unity is a head nod, we're going to
Can I
give
finish?
people head nods. And
Okay,
there
so
should be no
unity.
complaints. But
Okay,
that's
unity.
not what
All right.
you want to stop.
Okay,
Can
can
you
I
shut
finish?
up while
Can
he's
I
talking?
Okay, since you're going to keep talking,
can I finish my point?
no, you can't over
Peppa
talk
Okay,
Pig,
me.
no
damn,
problem.
he's talking. He's the host.
Okay? The point is that what you want us to do is you want us to stop addressing problematic behavior from immigrants, which is what we're doing. And you're calling that disunity.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't have to.
But yeah, I didn't
But
say anything about
the
immigrants.
fact that you
You
don't
asked me
have a
what
solid definition of
you asked
what
me what
unity
unity
means,
is.
the fact that you don't have a solid definition, and they never do. When they come up and say we need unity, and you ask them, okay, well, what does that mean? They don't have a
A
definition of
good
what that
start is
means.
economic
They don't
unity.
have an example
A
of
good
what
start
that
is
means.
economic
They
unity.
can't
That's a good start.
articulate exactly
You
how
shut
Economic
up.
unity is
unity.
going to be
Economic unity.
beneficial.
That's a
You
start.
shut up
Okay,
and be
I
quiet.
will say this one more
Economic
time.
unity.
If you do not want
Economic
to
Repeat
be,
the
unity.
if you
same
don't,
thing.
hold on.
Shut up.
If you don't want to be blocked, don't
You can
overtalk
block me,
me.
bro. I'm
Okay,
alright.
well, all right, then you're
You can
gone.
block me.
Shut your whole ass up, man.
That's enough, please, EJ, because I don't want you to get kicked out too.
Yeah, two things,
This is
Afro.
what I'm saying. They don't know what unity really even is. They really don't. They're saying that because they know it sounds good, but they don't know what unity is. What is the difference between melanin and consciousness? Go ask Nigeria. Y'all should know. Well, division, y'all should know a lot more about that than we do. Go ask whatever tribe, whatever opposite tribe you have. Y'all should know that more than we do.
That's the nerve to come up here. So you in the damn UK. You ain't in Nigeria speaking that unity crap. Don't come on our panels. We dealt with a lot of you Nigerians yesterday trying to put yourselves in a conversation that didn't have nothing to do with you. You didn't even say nothing about Chud the Builder. You up here trying to show us somewhat of an example of unity by trying to make us do all the work and y'all reap all the damn benefits. We know what numerous examples of unity is when it comes to y'all, which is nothing. Y'all can't give no examples of no unity nowhere on the continent. So don't come up here and try to explain yourself when we've been the kings and queens of unity amongst our people and throughout the whole entire world. So you need to get right and see if you can show unity in your homeland.
And we got 400 people in the chat room and we don't even have 100,000 likes. Can we change that, please? Can we, everybody, tap the screen and hit that like button, please? And thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
All right.
I wish he
Go
could have
ahead. Go ahead.
controlled himself and stopped being a wild African for one moment. Because I was going to ask him the telltale thing I always ask them when they bring up unity is which is name one time when melanated foreigners have helped Black Americans in a meaningful way. I've never got an answer to that question. Right now, Ghana is kicking Nigerians out. Right now, South Africa is kicking Nigerians out. That's not unity. Last thing I want to say, BX, I want to tell you something real interesting. You brought up Reagan being the first one to bring up Make America Great Again. Actually, do you know that was Thomas Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson said, you were right when you said Make America Great Again, Reagan being that. But the first YT president to say that was Thomas Jefferson. He said, let's make America great. And great was a code word for European. Why? Because we were the majority in America when Thomas Jefferson was taking power. He was sending out a code word, and that's what I'm saying. This is deep because they're playing along that code word. Reagan said, "Let's make America great again," because blacks were gaining too much power. Got it?
Got it. Yeah. So Reagan was the revamp of Jefferson.
That code.
Of that code. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Me
But we can get people's final thoughts. I appreciate that. I mean, and I'm glad you said that, brother. I'm glad you said that. We all was able to get that. But I want to say we was talking about Chud and the white community, the YT community, right? And it's one Nigerian from the UK who wanted to come. It's always one. Now, here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
curious, Afro.
Hold
I
on,
don't know
hold on.
why.
Let me make this point. Here's the thing. When we're talking about them, they be all like, y'all never talk about white folk. Y'all never talk about no. Now, this whole live, we made it dedicated to addressing Chud the Builder. And then here, one of them come up. Completely derailing, talking about some Pan-African unity. They're the ones who come over here talking about that. Well, they make it seem as if we're obsessed with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's them doing that. We're not obsessed with nobody. They come
I
over
agree.
here with that. So yeah, but we can
I mean,
wrap things.
they lightweight have to though. I'm gonna keep it 100. I mean, I got some Ethiopians in my family. When they come over to America, bro, they gotta have a whole sit down with the CIA before they even, or as far as immigration, they gotta have a sit down with immigration. Immigration shows them a video about who to deal with, who not to deal with. Got a bunch of black people in there, cosplaying criminals, right? You see what I'm saying? They set it up for them to come in here as extensions of the oppression. And that's the problem. See, you can always know which immigrant is on your team if they tell you this information. And my Ethiopian cousins told me this information. But a lot of immigrants don't tell you that they sit them down and show them a video and tell them who and who not to deal with in this country, and then or they not gonna get their loans, their business loans. This how we handle this situation. Every immigrant that's quote unquote melanated, which is damn near everybody, when you come out here to America, you got to do business with the black man, period, and the black woman, period. You feel me? You cut us in on the business, and we'll allow you to roam the streets because ultimately, the African American in this country is the biggest consumer, which means that we spend the most money in this country. So when it comes to business, you feel me? If they come out here to America and they start a business, which they obviously can, they can get the loan from the bank, right? Why aren't they breaking that money with the indigenous American Indian, aka black Americans in this country, when they're getting the money from the white man?
Yeah. Now, going forward, because of the ambiguity with the term African American, we don't really use that. We understand it's like still legally binding currently, but we use terms like foundational Black American and Black American, and some people use freedmen and other things like that. Just moving forward, I know this is, that's the thing that people are like, well, why you do that? There's a reason for it. So just moving forward. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
was.
they're told to stay away from our community, and I appreciate you letting it be known. And we know that. We know that. And they want to sit up there and talk about some unity, and all unity means to them, because they weren't concerned about unity beforehand. All unity means is stop talking about them. That's all it means.
Yeah, because
Okay,
that's
is to
that's. Yep. Go ahead,
unity
brother.
to them means turn the other cheek. That is what unity means for real. When they talk about
Preach.
we want unity. No, that means when they engage in tether problematic behavior, they want us to ignore that. That is what quote unquote unity means to them. Okay, because when they're disrespecting us and all of that stuff, they don't come up and be all like, hey, we want unity, we should have unity, unity, unity. But when we're calling them out, they talk about, oh, don't you think we want unity? Okay,
Yeah,
you want to unify with us, you all the way in the UK. What do you want unity with us for?
but see,
You
even
should
that,
want
even
unity among other people in the UK.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Even them saying that is a cop out because you shouldn't have to unify with the FBAs or or us out here. Y'all should it should be a group of Nigerians and immigrants that come together and fight for our rights. And we sit back like, oh man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all came out here. They tried to get at y'all. They tried to turn y'all over, and then y'all started marching for us, and that's never happened. It has never happened. And the cold part about it is like you have to, like I said, I understand what COINTEL is. You got to understand these are gang stalkers. They are extensions of the CIA.
Yeah.
Period. They're not somebody you can just chill with. Their rhetoric, they speak this rhetoric because it was given to them. You
Yeah.
see what I'm
Now I'm
saying?
gonna let you land and everybody get their final thoughts in. I just want you to know.
Yeah, okay. We all need to study what gang stalking is. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what these flock cameras is, and this I mean it's fitting to be, if it's not already, covering the whole country. And a lot of the immigrant this is all about us because the sun is talking to us, and this is information that is only geared to us dealing with this country, which they consider it the promised land. But understand all these individuals are extension of the CIA, and understand what gang stalking is. Understand a lot of people in your communities, they work for the government. You know what I mean? They watching where you go. They have access to your phones. They have access to the internet. That's what all of these 5G towers is about. It has nothing to do with making sure you got a better signal. You know, it's to create a grid. And that grid is being used by the same individuals who talking about make America great again. Right? So you just got to be on your P's and Q's. It's nothing to be fearful about, though. I'm going to keep it 100. The universe got us. The sun got us. But you got to be tapped into that frequency. And that's why I said, my brothers and my sisters, learn how to ignore them. Do not give them the light of day. We are the shining light. If we give them attention, the universe is like, you paying attention to them.
All
So
right.
I gotta give them life. You see what I'm saying? There's an episode about this on The Simpsons, though. When all of the corporations.
But we gotta be quick. We gotta be quick.
Okay, no, I can land it. I'm done. I appreciate the time, brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Blessings.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's get to EJ. Final words, EJ.
The story is Chud is a piece of crap. He's a coward. He doesn't mean anything to the YT community unless they're playing a video game system and saying all types of N-words like it's a Call of Duty tournament. What goes around comes back around. The universe definitely works in mysterious ways. And brothers and sisters, make sure that you're out here protecting yourselves, because if you got individuals like this that like to do the crisscross with the clothing, they don't have their mindsets and their brain power on point with actually trying to be constructive in real life, let alone even try to get rid of the situation that's going on in the YT community, like I was saying earlier. And I can't get mad that Susie, Sally, Vanessa, or Taylor want to get some of this, what. So, it is what it is. I can't help that Black American brothers are the what, and all the ladies love us. But in my opinion, I'm with my Black American sisters, and a lot of these YT people are very emotional when they lose, one of their chicks or probably their moms to one of us. So, this coward will go around and mess around and just find out in the near future, most likely. And I don't feel bad for these YT supremacists. It's another one that gonna bite the dust, just like a lot of them have in the past. Some recently, for those who don't know. And all I gotta say is it's just another classic space. A lot of these mayonnaise monkeys came up here talking crazy, but you definitely handled them, brother Afro, like the honorable person you is. And with that being said, brother, I land my plane.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Professor, you got any final words, final comments?
Yes,
There's always
sir.
like a slew of people right before we leave. I'm sorry, y'all, but we gotta go. All right.
I'm glad this space went the way it went, because we're talking about unity, and we're talking about, our sister BX brought up Make America Great Again. That is Chud, in my opinion. That's his objective. Ladies and gentlemen, history erases the mystery. Like I said earlier, Europeans were unaliving each other, and they had to be saved by outside sources several times because it is in their nature to unalive each other. It was never a such thing as YT. It was English, French, German, right? Well, look at Chud. We're in a situation where Europeans are not necessarily getting along. Kim Kardashian, her likeness has accelerated the need for YT women to get a black man. What it looks like Chud is doing, in my view, is trying to reunify the YT group against another target so they don't unalive each other, which historically is their nature.
Yeah. All right. That's true. But I didn't want to talk about Chicago or the hood or Compton or whatever the case is. When you look at the most destructive, dehumanizing things that have happened pretty much in world history, it's all been them. It's all been them. It has. It really has. So I appreciate you bringing that history up, Professor. Thank you very much. Sage, are you with us? You done cleaning up Ghost or no?
Yes, first of all, it's midnight. It's not Ghost. Okay,
Midnight,
actually,
okay.
he got beef with a dog named Ghost, but that's a whole nother story. What I would say is that, listen, first of all, shout out to Professor Alan. A lot of people speak about New York and truly have not been to New York. Rochester is a world away from New York City. If you know anything about this state that me and BX and others live in, it's a world away. To comment about a city or a state that you've been to maybe one time or never lived in your life, to me, is just crazy. I've been all over this nation, from Texas to Cali to Florida, Oregon, all over this nation. But I don't comment on cities that I don't live in. You don't understand the politics. You don't really know the people that live there. To say that there are no FBAs in New York is just crazy to me. That's all I'm gonna say. As far as what unity we're talking about with these Africans, I would love to hear how the brother feels about all of these reparations task force that we've been going to, and people of his ilk, others like Nigerians and other Caribbeans or whatever, saying that we're not owed reparations. I would like to speak to the brother, and I would like to first say, how would he feel if a foundational went over to the UK and told them what they're not owed? Now, if you want to talk about unity, let's start right there. There are no FBAs that are traveling over there. Even, what's the brother's name? Adonis. He's over there and he's not telling you guys what you should not be getting. You understand? He's not saying that you're lazy. There's no unity in that. So what I would say with that is, brother, definitely check your people first. But you can't check your people because you're in the UK and your people are from Nigeria. So where's the unity in that when you left the country of your origin? True. And though that may seem foul, that's true. You see, the difference is that we truly never left the country in which we are from. Earlier, when we had the space with BX, I put my mom on and she let y'all know where I come from, so we don't flee. And I'm not trying to say that the brothers are flee or whatever. You always call somebody a flee. No. Listen to what I'm saying. In order to make a change, it starts at home. My grandmother always told me, you sweep inside the house before you sweep outside. And by you living in the UK, that's not your home. So what I would say is definitely go back to Nigeria and clean that up before you want to talk about unity. And Afro, lastly, I'm going to close with this one. You said something about you nodding your head walking past another melanated person. Well, here in New York, they don't answer that. I have a thing of, you can always check a person's lineage by not even speaking to them. You give them, you give them a head nod, you give them a salute, you put your hand over your heart. If they don't acknowledge you, they're not FBA. And a lot of that happens here in New York. I'll, put my hand over my heart like, what's up, brother? And they'll just look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. But I guess I am in that sense. And with that, I'm going to land.
No, I got something to say.
One of these roaches reported me, but thank
You
y'all.
gotta be careful because it says, we've got another violation. This is like the third one tonight or today.
Me?
A guest in your live has violated the harassment and bully policy. Repeated violations by your guests may lead to restrictions on your access to multiple guests live. We don't want to go through that again. And that was EJ. So EJ, we gotta.
They reported that because EJ didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna be really fast. I gotta ask you, Afro, when are you coming back live on TikTok?
Probably Monday.
Okay. I want to say
y'all have Mother's Day off.
I don't mind working. I already got my presents. They going to call me. My son probably ask me what I want to eat. One of my kids will buy me something to eat because I ain't cooking. But I have so much to say, but I'm gonna make it brief. The head nod thing in New York, they don't have a head nod. They're listening to us. They're picking up what we say is our culture and then trying to implement it as theirs and ours. They don't have a head nod. They have a head drop. Because every time I walk past them, they drop their head. It ain't no head nod. They're not looking me in my eyes, right? And Sage is right. New York is you have to really have lived here, and it's getting really frustrating to hear the narrative we're not here. I think that totally diminishes the work that Sage is doing, Brother Melrose, Brother Divine, Sister Brooks, Sister Keisha, the work that I do, even if it's just digitally, you see I pop out and protest if I have to, right?
Yeah.
I go out and give feedback if I have to, right? I have always been telling the truth of New York. Proximity does not mean staying. We are undergoing some changes, but when you're using Wikipedia sources, racist, saying Black Americans are not there. And that's to some of my people outside of the state. My lineage even feels there was no slavery here. We don't deserve soul food. We don't deserve this and that, and we lost the culture. We ain't lose no culture. We're fighting to keep the sanctity of our culture here and stop them from appropriating our culture. Y'all don't see the violence that we face from them. And instead of saying, how can we help y'all, a lot of y'all are just throwing us under the bus asking if New York is worth saving. Meanwhile, you're not looking in your own backyard because there's immigrants there saying in the South, saying they were born there, they're like 30 years old, claiming that they're Southern. Everybody tend to their own yards if you're just going to throw New York under the bus, because we have been more than gracious trying to help everyone, right? We have. Now, I don't have nothing to do with the hip-hop politics or the hustler politics when they went out of town. I'm moving forward with grace. Please come down on the narratives that we're not here. We're here, and we're actively fighting. Please don't diminish our fight. That's all I ask, Afro.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. All right, y'all make sure y'all go to For the Culture on YouTube, because that's where the playback of this live and all the other lives that we have, that's where that is. So go to For the Culture on YouTube. And if you're listening from YouTube, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And make sure you hit that like button. And shout out to all of the people who gifted us. And we made it to over 100,000 likes before we left. So thank you all for that. I appreciate you all.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Shout out to Philly, shout out to Detroit, shout out to Connecticut, shout out to the northern states that hit me up and say, BX, we love you. How can we help? Shout out to that Memphis brother Basic who asks the same thing even if he doesn't understand the same demographics. I respect that more than a think piece saying, I told you Black Americans are going. Please just ask us how you can help. I'm going to tell you right now, pull us up on your panel so we can tell the truth about New York. All right, I love us all for real. I just had something to get off my chest. That's it. I'm finally finished, Afro.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shout out to everybody.
Yes, wrap it up,
for
Bronx.
being here.
Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I had to, Afro. Happy Mother's Day, y'all.
I mean, are we done or not? I'm just asking. I mean, every time I go, right?
Ask the girl from the Bronx, are we done? I'm playing BX. You know it's love.
Yeah, I know. Because you got mama duties, and I see Afro. I see For the Culture just went live. So okay, I'll shut up. I love y'all.
Okay. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all sincerely. Thank you all very much for being here. We will see you all again soon. Make sure y'all go to For the Culture. You said you just subscribed or you started following on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Go on YouTube, and if you're listening on YouTube, make sure y'all hit that like button. All right. Y'all have a good Mother's Day. Shout out to all of the Foundation Black American mothers out there. All right. We will see you all soon. All right. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good weekend.
Be one.